Okay, so this is a BARD Gold for support game for Aquado. We've got Draven BARD versus Pike Quinn. So Draven and Quinn, this current time are like pretty damn bursty and strong. The Pike will add to some of the risk there on bot lane. It's essentially down here, like whoever catches who first, but the Quinn probably has a slight edge with the blind, because even if Draven comes into her face, then she can still blind. But in all honesty, it's really coming down to actually the support. So whatever support catches out the AD, it will be like pretty dramatic. Right, let's speed this up.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Okay, pretty standard. I wonder if I can see chimes on the minimap. I hope so. So it's going to help a lot as well for me to be able to help you. Doing a pull. It's fine. Should get back into lane quickly. Absolutely fine here. Alright, so yeah, it's going to come down quite early. Like, you want to get level 2 quickly as possible. Have you got wards? According to this, you've got no wards. Alright, you see this Pantheon? That's really nice that you saw this Pantheon. Good double stun there too. Draven just didn't use any summoners there though, and he probably could have to get away. It's not a whole lot you could do there. You can't be that far forward though after Pantheon's just ganked your lane. You actually have to stay way back. You're going to lose a couple of minions of XP. There's just no point in you standing here though. Oh god. Very lucky. Nice double stun again. Once again, very lucky. That could have way easily been you dead there again. Okay, so now your Zins come down. You can't really push in here. There's actually like not a whole lot you can do here. You can maybe try and CC this Pike down quickly, but do not come across here. If you come across here, you're probably going to die. The best thing you can do here is to slow down this Pike. That's all you can do. Yeah. Don't keep going in. No. Oh my god, what a fiesta. I would have also probably have told my jungler to back off there as well, because I wouldn't have been able to go in as well. So yeah, kind of fiesta-y. It's a shame you took too much damage there, because you would have been able to stay here and you would have actually been able to pressure this Quinn down quite a bit. So yeah, you should have identified that that fight was unwinnable anyway. So it's not the great start, not the greatest of starts. Luckily, the Quinn didn't pick up any kills, so the best that she could buy is a longsword. But I mean, if you guys fall behind any more bot side, you're gonna have an extremely hard game. Even at that point, I would say consider ditching your Draven, but trying to gank a cat mid is gonna be a bit difficult. Just iron up what you're doing here. You can't really do too much. Just try. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. I was going to say just try and harass as much as you can. Like even on the Pike, you can't even heal too much. But you can get like mana flow and some GP5 stacks as well. Alright, let's just watch how this happened. Good Qs and cooldown though. The only summon you've got left down here is Draven Flash. But yeah, as I said before, as it comes down to this, whatever support can catch out. Yeah, and the Ignite was still up. I would say laning is going to be extremely difficult right now. So I would highly suggest you start thinking about roaming already. Whether it's top or mid. and let Draven farm into tower. And Draven's actually already kind of out of the game. I know it's only 4 minutes into the game, but that's how brutal this is. Yeah. Like if you okay, so if you're stuck in a situation here where your AD's dead and like the wave's up like this and there's absolutely nothing you can do because this is what Pyke can do, then you go back, you try and get boots if you can, and then look around the map, whether it's going straight to top or going to mid. You just got to do something on the map. You're just getting yourself caught out here for free. Are you dead? Yeah. Yep. You just gotta understand that, like, when the lane's going badly, you need to find another way, because this is probably gonna keep happening now, over and over and over again. Now I can probably see. I would. Right, your Xin is starting this dragon. What you have to do is that you need to push in this wave as quickly as possible. So make this bot lane have to clear up minions like around about here, so it gives Xin a little bit of safety here. I want to see like try and auto attack some of the casting minions here if possible. And also you want to, as Bard, you kind of want to make sure you're standing as close to this wall as possible for a tunnel so you can escape. If you were on the opposite side, you wouldn't want to stay near this wall here as well, just to be able to tunnel through here as well. So this, because you've got no flash, this is like the safest you can actually possibly be, is by this wall here, so you can tunnel through. But you want to help push in and push this wave in, so Zin's got a free dragon basically, and then as soon as you push in the wave, you want to go up to the dragon and make sure it's secured. Even if you think that the enemy isn't there, you just need to make sure you're there. Kind of like what you're doing right now. Ooh. Tunnel through here and help, yeah. Okay, good. This is a nice little pickup. Your team's incredibly far behind, but getting the final Drake is pretty nice. I would have let the Xin tank the dragon more though, because you still need to be in lane, whereas the Xin can recall whenever he likes. So, I mean, he's got plenty of health there after the smite. You should just let him keep tanking it. He's gonna reach it. Now back off there, I'd say. Yeah, you took too much damage. You don't need to tank it that much, because you need to be back in lane. The Xin can just recall and then come back to its jungle kind of thing. So that more health. I'm actually interested about your HP now, because you're gonna be you should definitely be using that part. Yeah, you are now. This is very, very scary HP for you to be on now in this laning phase. You just gotta play mega defensively and or roam. Oof. Oh. Didn't even need that Pantheon to come in there. Yeah. Just roam. You gotta roam. Like, you're not gonna. This is just gonna keep happening and happening and happening. And unless your jungler or your mid starts camping down bot lane, this is just gonna keep recurringly happen. Not sure what the Pyke was doing there, but not sure what the hell the enemy team are doing here actually, to be honest. There's a good double stun from you though. Nice that Ari roamed down. Yeah, that's like mega greedy. Diving past to a tier 2 at 8 minutes like that. Right, I'd say get 6 here. Spend your money. Get Moby boots as quick. You must be able to buy Moby boots. So get Moby boots and then yeah, take these 2 minions, go back, get Moby boots, and try and go straight to top or mid. Now, where are you going? Getting a couple of chimes. Yeah, because now you're too weak to go anything. There's too much chime collecting. I could probably, if you had in your mind that you're going to roam to top as soon as you recall, then taking these couple of chimes here to get another tier up would be okay. But then you need to recall here. Like, going for all of these other chimes and stuff is a bit of a waste. It's just too much. You're not helping anyone on the map at the moment at all. You just had to use your flash because you got caught out as well. I mean, yeah, you can't. Your opportunity to do a roam play has now gone. You can't actually recall now. You still need. You need to be doing something on the map now at this point. Otherwise, you're going to be doing basically AFK for like 2 minutes. Yeah, you just have to stay here now. And I would say just play super defensively. Just get ready at all times for Pyke to just engage the Draven and get ready to follow up with an ulti. Well, we did say this is going to keep happening, didn't we? Alright, you just need to get Moby Boots, Control Ward or 2, and just get around the map. Right, you buy mobility boots and a codex and a control ward. That's perfect. Don't go back to the bot though. Bot's over, right? Draven still has his ult to wave clear one wave as well. And look what's happened down mid. If you were actually trying to roam here properly, this Fiesta here, you would be able to answer that Pantheon, for example, as well. Thank you, Nerdy, by the way. Just have to play super back. The ulti needs to be sooner. This is what I mean. Like when you're in a very brutal lane like this, it's like whatever 2v2 gets ahead, that's like the game. At least the laning phase, right? I want to see you roaming around way more, especially when you're behind. I saw that Q miss. Yeah. I mean, ganking a cat at this point, and she's level 10, is going to be nearly impossible. Your best bet's probably the Teemo. You could probably gank the Teemo with the Nasa slow. I would say like every few minutes you want to be like going to top side. I think you could have probably been top twice now, and got Nasus ahead, and like at least that would give you like a late game ticket, right? Wouldn't help too much in the mid game having a slightly ahead Nasus, but a late game setup for him would be pretty nice. With his Q stacks. Right, now you've actually started to roam now. Better late than never, I guess. Rift a couple of spells, but you got the kill anyway, and Pantheon wasted his ulti. That's something good. Right, you're gonna don't go back to bot because you're gonna lose this anyway. Just spam ping your Draven back and just let them give up this tower, because if you go bot, he's dead, you lose your tower, and you're probably gonna die as well, right? So I'm gonna predict that. I'm gonna predict that you're gonna go down to bot, help Draven and both die and lose tower. I was wrong about who died there, but yeah. It's just gonna get worse. Alright, that's a flash. Yeah. So the problem is like you recognize this is a waste of time too late. This is a minute too late of you realizing, because now you're doing nothing again. That you should be up here. I know you might get caught by Teemo shrooms or whatever. That's why you need to bring control ward. Try and take some unusual pathing against a Teemo, like go around like here. Never take quick shortcuts to the lane. Even going through here might be risky because there might be shrooms in there. Like honestly, there should be one Teemo shroom there, to be honest, to stop someone sneaking through the lane. Or like you could like use that blast cone, go to here, from there to there maybe, and then put a control ward there, and then make a play with your ulti as an engage. And if Teemo flashes or whatever, then you're getting something else. You just want to secure somewhere for your mid game, because Draven is not going to be your mid game. So you're going to be the mid and the top and ganking a cat is incredibly difficult. So you should be like constantly identifying where you should be. You're not really doing that right now, so your roaming needs a lot of work. Having this RE is pretty nice though. It's nice that you get that and then roams at top. You're doing the right thing now. This is what you should have been doing like 4 or 5 minutes ago. Unlucky that was on a stream though. That was kind of unlucky that was on the stream. One thing I'd say though, this is a non-optimal tunnel though anyway. You want to cut off the alleyway off even more, because say if he had flash up anyway, like he would have just flashed away from you and that would have been it. If you had tunneled through to here, it would have created like much more distance for you to like to close down. Like you would be way in front of him kind of thing. But yeah, it's very unlucky that that random stream is there though. You do miss your Q there as well though. Also, probably you could have got your Nasus to engage. He has flash. You could have like spam pinged, and all he would have to do was like flash wither, and then you would have been may have died still, but he would, at least the team would be dead kind of thing. Like I would use that control you've got here and then put it there and then identify, okay, they can't see me. That gives like Nasus a second or two to give him a chance to go in and engage and get ready for it, okay? Because he's, I don't know how mechanically like mind tricky this ELO is, but this Nasus could be trying to like play it cool. Like there's no one coming up top. I'm just trying to farm some CS under tower. But you need him to come in here and get it. I try and at least get a wither down. But yeah, it's a shame that you missed your Q there as well. Did you not have W up, by the way? Yeah, you could have probably healed yourself actually there and survived. Oh, you did there. Yeah, okay, you did use it. Okay. I still want to see you roaming though. Your first roam mid was decent. Top one was left to be desired. You get twin shadows, which is fine when roaming. Extra movement speed and can catch them out in the ganks is pretty fine. Careful though, this cap can easily destroy you though. Just identified as well that you're incredibly weak. You've been roaming around a tiny bit now, so you're a bit behind on XP. Plus your bot lane was doing pretty badly there as well. You need to watch the mini map more. Like there's nothing going on here. There's no way you three are gonna make a dent in this at all. Okay, so you need to be constantly looking at like what can I do where. Like there should be no time when you're standing like around doing nothing for 15 seconds unless you are actually planning on sieging this properly, which you can't at all. So you should be constantly looking around on the map where you should be going. Yeah, you're doing nothing here. I'm not sure if you're like trying to wait for like, the bait on the cat here. But I would say like 9 times out of 10, unless this cat makes a dramatic mistake, I honestly wouldn't bother. What was that? Oh, Tuna, thank you for the host, dude. Hope you're doing well. I'm just doing a coaching session for BARD. Just come in mid BARD coaching session. Yeah, so there's no point really being here either.
Two months, baby.
Appreciate you, my dude. Thanks for the 2 months too as well, man. Appreciate you. Where were we? So yeah, you're doing nothing here. There's nothing to be done here. You should be identifying that. What you can, there's only 2 things you can do. You can set up vision, which, to be honest, is to be desired. Let me just change the fog of war to red side. You've got okay top vision. You got like virtually none here. You want to use your control. You got sitting on 2 control wards as well, so you should be using your control ward somewhere. So I would personally use a control ward in a pixel brush, like here, or even here, just to make sure that the enemy can't see where I'm bouncing towards to roam. When you want to make sure you got guaranteed vision on your roams, so I would, to be honest, I would probably put one here because I would be more inclined to bounce between like mid and top. So I would keep a control ward here. Hey Sick Nerd, how you doing, dude? How are you, my old RuneScaper? So yeah, I would personally would keep a control ward here so that you can roam around and you know you've got that safety as well. You should be constantly looking for an avenue in. Also, doing Qs like that gives it away instantly that this brush is warded. So you just told this pipe this brush is 100% warded, whereas he could have been standing there for like 10-15 seconds wasting his time completely. It's too hot. I'm actually okay at the moment. It's definitely been feeling a lot cooler than it has been with like a week ago. So yeah, you just need to identify that you need to roam a lot more. I think you could have had a lot more impact this game. It's a shame what happened bot lane. It happens in such brutal lanes. Yeah, that was kind of Pantheon to give you a free kill like that. I mean, this is the kind of thing, like even in gold ELO, there's so many... That's an annoying sound. I can still hear that cat dagger. There's so many like mistakes being made constantly by people that if you can like roam really well and it can can't keep exploiting that, the better. Even if your lane's falling behind. This is why I say if you're a support main and you can do really well roaming, you can hit D5 pretty quickly and easily. If you're like the best roamer, like top tier roamer. Support, funny enough, isn't really like to climb fast. It isn't about being the best in the lane. It's trying to be the best in or impacting as many lanes as you can at the same time if you're able to, and if you're in the right champion like Pyke and Bard and any tank with Moby Boots kind of thing as well. Decent Bard ult. Probably quite risky to force stuff through at this point. But they're kind of dying one by one. You could probably snowball this now. I would say get your team to push in mid pretty damn hard now since they're down 2. Nasus is getting some free farm top as well. So Nasus is like your ticket to late game, but you need to make sure you've got a mid game going. Draven is not going to be that cool. It's going to be Ahri's your only choice. Zin's is pretty far behind too. I would like to see you upgrade your GP5 now. Bard's itemization is kind of crappy anyway, but you just need wards to try and keep as much map control as possible. Ideally, you want this game to go as late as possible. That way, Draven has full items, because basically Draven is really good early, right? But since he did really bad early, the only way he's going to even be relevant in the game is by being late in 6 items anyway. Quinn is pretty nice, scales pretty nicely throughout the entire game. Cat is very good mid, falls off slightly late, but can have that one-shot potential still. Zin can still be pretty nice late game, and Nasus is obviously like the biggest ticket here you got to winning at 40-ish minutes. You just want to delay this game as much as you possibly can. And the only person, so you got your Nasus for your late game, and you need your Ahri for your mid game. So you want to try and make sure you got as much vision control around this mid lane. Have a control ward to make sure that you know you're safe to roam to top when you can get Nasus a kill. And just make sure that your Ahri is as safe as possible. Because the only thing then she could probably die for is like Pantheon ulti into Cat. But she should be able to Ahri ult out of the Pantheon ult. If that makes sense. So you need to identify... You need to be constantly asking this your question, like how do I win this game, and what do I have to do at each segment of the game? Like ideally early game, your objective was to come ahead in bot lane. That didn't happen. So then you need to try and make sure you're do your best to make sure you've got something secure for mid game, which right now honestly is a bit rocky. But if Ari can wave clear a decent amount, and as long as she can protect, make sure she's got protection from at least a vision, that'd be pretty nice. You've been sitting on 2 control wards now for quite a long time as well. Would be nice to see. Is this even Nasus is trying to do a nice play here. This is nice of you to come in here. I think you got in too close here with the BARD tunnel though. Yeah. You could have had, oh that was nice. You could have had a lot more impact there. Because your tunnel placements could use some tiny bit of work here too. You don't want to go right in slap bang in the middle of those two because BARD is incredibly squishy. You want to like do a tunnel that cuts through and maybe lands you around about here. Because then that's a decent Q setup there as well. Going right into the middle of both of them. Also bear in mind Teemu can just whack a shroom down on your entrance, exit, whatever you want to call it, as well. So that will create some distance to stop the Teemu from shrooming in as well. But you don't ever want to tunnel right into the middle unless you know they're fleeing already and that you'll be fine. So your intentions are right, but your execution on the tunnels are you could use some improvement on where you're landing those tunnels as well. Because yeah, your Nasus is now. Okay, he should have killed that, but your Nasus is pretty beast at the moment. He might be able to do an okay job holding mid game himself as it is. Maybe not. But late game he should be very nice. Right, let's go back to see what we're doing. You've got 3 control wards now. Still want to see you use it. If your ulti's up. Okay, right. Here is where you should punish like crazy. There's no way a Quinn should be that far up. Your ghost sees her. This is great. Oh, does it not see her? That's amazing. That should be ult straight away. That should be straight ult. You got Ari right here. And then you can win. Even if you die for this, this is worth it. This is definitely worth it. Alright. She's 9-1 right now. You did a hell of a lot of damage there as well. I think you should stay in for that like crazy. You've got your ult ready and ignite. This is a simple kill. She should be dead. Yeah. If someone's that cocky and that so far overextended, just make sure you can try and get the kill. That would be double buff for you or Ari and a shutdown and assist gold as well going over. Even if you die 1 for 1, there's no assist gold on the Quinn. Since Ari would have been there to help tag. Yeah, like wards I want to see from you are like I think you should have 1 ward here where this cannon minion is. Just so you can see rotations left and right. To give Ari some indication as well if they're coming storming through mid. And you need 1 ward like around here, 1 ward around like either in this brush or this brush, and then I want you to like put a control ward, preferably here, like even Teemu's keeping some control around here. The fact that you are unaware that this Teemu's here, I mean he's had to either walk past this ward or he's snuck all the way through here. Which shows that your warding's not great. You're prioritizing picking up chimes a little bit too much rather than actually getting some map vision, which is a shame. Not sure what you're waiting here for. Like if Pantheon were to ult in like right now for example, he would just instantly die anyway. You're standing, you're wasting too much time doing nothing a lot. And then you're not even there anyway for if they do engage anyway. This is why this ward here, when I said this cannon minion, is important. To see if they dive through quickly. Like yeah, you should have noticed that the Quinn just popped what's it called? Omen? Yumumu's. And you know there's gonna be a fight coming up here. I'm surprised you're not aware of this. This is where you want to turn around and get ready to stop the engage. You just kind of know it to be seen there. You could have honestly actually just like ultied there, saved Ari, and then probably got one back for your team as well. Yeah, you just need to pay attention a little bit more to your surroundings. Pay attention a little bit more to the wind conditions. Yeah. Honestly, it looks like you're a little bit tilted from losing the lane that hard, but yeah, I don't want to go through this game anymore. It's just too much like information for you to work on here, because it's just the same like sort of mistakes I'm seeing over and over again. So on BARD in particular, work on your tunnel placements a little bit. You don't want to like be so close unless when you're in the exit portal, unless you know for a fact that they're like literally running away for their lives. Secondly, like up here earlier on, you want to use your tunnels if you want to collapse on someone for a gank. Make sure your tunnel's like the furthest points away so that you're as far in front of them as possible, while not on their face as well, because Bard's kite range is actually kind of long. Whether it's using Q max range or if it's using your meeps into minions to then use a slow cone to like slow them off like that. And like the tunnel down here wasn't particularly great either. Want to see you have some better like start making sure you get wards here. If this tower's down, then you can press it up to around about here, but otherwise you want the ward around about here just to see map rotations a little bit. Well, try it, and if your win condition, if your mid game condition is your mid laner, then and the rest of the map is kind of going a bit iffy, then you need to, and she can still wave clear, make sure you provide adequate vision for her to feel comfortable moving up slightly in wave clearing, by having vision top and bot a little bit as well. And then try and prioritize a control ward to where you can roam. So on this side of the map, I highly recommend this one if your top lane's doing well. If your top lane's doing bad and you want to roam around, then you're going to need to look at... depends. If you lost tier 1 bot, then you're going to want to put control ward here in case they push up a lot, like they are like right now, for example. Otherwise, if your tier 1 top is up, I would actually swap this ward here for a control ward, and then try and put a cheeky normal ward there, just so you've got a slightly more deep vision. Okay. That's basically it. As long as you treat Bard like similar to like an AP support champion with a lot of roam, you'll get a lot of damage off and roaming potential off. Just don't treat yourself like you're some sort of like melee tank. You just treat yourself like you are ranged. So you use your range. Don't go into their faces kind of thing unless you actually have to ankle like a stun into a wall or a minion or that kind of thing. That's the only kind of times you really want to, you can only really be in their face. Yeah. But yeah, also, oh yeah, the one last thing, you need to identify when bot lane's over. Your bot lane was over for like 5 minutes. You guys kept dying and dying in the exact same way. If that happens, the best thing you can do is just ditch your AD carry, because you two are just going to keep dying bot lane until you lose that tower. So you might as well lose the tower a little bit earlier, and then your Draven's going to probably die anyway, and then you can at least roam and then get a kill somewhere, rather than both you dying and dying and dying and dying, then losing your tower. At least it's only then Draven dying occasionally. He's going to be playing a little bit safer under tower as well, but then hopefully you'll get a play mid lane or top lane to protect your mid game. So just break up the game into 3 segments. Like, how's early game going? Not great. Make sure your mid game is secured. If early game is going great, then you want to try and keep it in early game phase as much as possible, and then snowball it as much as possible. And by like keeping it in that phase, like for example early game, that means like doing the dragon, doing the towers, rotating, doing the top lane tower, doing herald, and just making sure it's like in that early game category a little bit more. Whereas if you are losing early game, you actually want to kind of speed it up towards mid game a lot quicker by ganking those mid lanes, ganking the top lanes, because then Depends on how good the enemy can handle that at that point and how good their macro is. Because if their macro is really bad, they're not going to react to it for a very long time, and that will give you a chance to get in. And then your mid game is then secured, and then it's now about like the last 10 minutes of the game kind of thing. Maybe around Baron or something, and then take it from there. I mean, Baron and fights and team fights are a little bit more. Can be a little bit more RNG depending on how your team is playing macro, but your job as support is getting you through early, and if that doesn't work, then you need to make sure you've got mid-game security and speed it towards mid-game. Yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully that helps you out a bunch. Helps you out a bunch, Aquado. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with the advice I gave you there. I think that was some good tips there, I think, for everyone that can use when they're playing a roaming champion there, actually. Okay. Oof. You guys like that? Hope you guys like these coaching sessions. I do try my best, and it does take a lot of effort and throat usage and stuff, so let me just drink some water. But yeah, that's probably the best advice I could give. Like, separate the game into 3 segments and just deal with it as each segment. It's each portion of the game. Don't just think of the game as one whole thing.